we're going to be creating the nod, and this uses a technique called tweening. It might look a little bit complicated because there are so many more frames than the first project, but it's actually not as hard as it looks. So let me just pause that and let's get started. So like before, we're going to create a new file, and I'm just going to keep it the same size as before, 1080, 300 ppi. I'm going to call this the nod, and I'm going to bring over the assets that we need. So this case, it's the pink smiley face. So while clicking on that, on the layers panel right here, Command C and Command V to paste it. And I think in this example project, I have the smiley face a lot bigger, so I'm gonna just click on Command T, and I'm just gonna drag it out so it's a bit bigger, and then center it like so, and then click enter, and that is about the same size, a little bit different, that's okay. And let's just see what's going on here closely. So in the beginning, it starts off with its eyes right on the upper top of the face, and then slowly moving down, and then moves back up. And in terms of the face, it's also moving down slowly and then moves back up. All right, so we know the first frame, we want the face and the facial features both to be kind of upward. So let's go ahead and create frame animation. If you don't see the timeline, remember it's window, timeline, and you should see this. And so for the first frame, let me just move the head upward and also the facial features upward. And instead of creating every single frame in the middle, we're going to do something a little bit different this time to save some time. So we're actually just going to create the first frame and then the last frame before it moves back up. So I'm going to click on plus, and that last frame we need the face to move down and the facial features also to move down. So right now we have first frame and second frame. Maybe I'll even move it a little bit more down first. And you might think, wow, that looks quite drastic, and it does, but here is where the magic comes in. The technique we're going to use is tweening, and tweening allows you to fill in the gaps between the first and the second frame here. So while clicking on the first frame, we are going to click on this button right here, right beside the plus sign, and it says Tweens Animation Frames. So click on that, and then it will ask you how many frames to add, and the more frames you add, the smoother the animation is. But if there's too many, it might get a little bit complicated, so I'm just gonna click on 3. We want all of the layers to be tweened, and the parameters we want tweened are actually in our case it's just position. We're not playing with opacity or effects, but we'll just leave that checked as well. And we want tween with next animation, and we're going to click on OK, and then you'll see all number 2, 3, 4 was created automatically for us. So if we play it, you can see that we've got this motion of the first part of the nod where the face is moving down. It's kind of fast, so let's just add some delays. So click on number 1 and shift click on everything, and then add 0.1 second delay. Alright, so we have this motion going on. Now the only problem right now is that it kind of jumps here because you've got the last frame and then it jumps to right up top, but you kind of have to fill in the gaps in between, and you want this to actually go down and then slowly move back up like this. You want it to loop. And so in order to loop, we need frames 2, 3, and 4 to play right after this, but we need actually 4, 3, 2 to play after 5. So to do that, you're just gonna click on 2, shift, and make sure everything from 2, 3, 4 have been clicked, and then click on option, and then we're just gonna drag all of those and drop it here after 5. But we need this in reverse because right now we have the top one, number 6 here is actually number 2, 7 is 3, and 8 is 4. But we need 4 to be right after 5. So clicking on 6, shift to 8, click on this layer right here, and we're just gonna reverse frames. Now we've got 5, and then it should go back to 4, 3, 2, and we're back at once. So let's see if that has worked. There we go, guys. We have a very smooth nod, and like I said, if you have more frames in between, it will look even smoother than this. But this is the basic idea. Let's see what happened in my example file. As you can see, I've got 4 more frames here. So it does look a bit smoother, but we have the same basic idea. Maybe this is also moving no, it's the same delay. It just has more frames. But that's the basic idea of the nod. And you can use tweening to basically help you in the animation process so that you don't have to manually move every single piece of the animation frames. So I'm really excited to find out how you guys are gonna be using tweening. And that's basically it for this project, and I will see you in the next video where I'll show you one more animation technique.